we were able to play craps in an area where we could only film in one direction, because if we turned the cameras that way, the police would be able to identify it.
No
Wow.
way, really?
Yeah, yeah. It was
Shit, that's cool.
sketch. It was sketch, but it was also like so thrilling. You know?
Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm hanging in, shitty, like everybody. Shitty.
Did you toss on the blazer for us, or you looking good? For
No. I was actually gonna take it off for you guys.
I was gonna say I'm stunned you didn't.
That sounds more
Makes
more
sense.
like us.
Yeah.
No, I just turned 40, so I.
Congrats. Or
So I
that's
sleep
not
in a
what you
blazer
say.
now.
It's just permanent.
Always ready for business.
Are you out in LA now? Or is this
I'm in LA. Yeah, I'm in LA for like 36 hours, and then I
That's
go
always
back.
the best.
And then you come,
Yeah.
Wait, so you're going to LA for 36 hours to do an interview with us on Zoom? I imagine you're doing other ones as well, but
I'm actually going. I have a movie premiere tonight, and then I go back. I'm shooting a travel show for True TV and HBO, and I had a day and a half off, so I was able to come to LA, go to the movie premiere, and then after the movie premiere, I had off back on the road.
Oh, so I had a day and a half off, so I decided to work on it.
Yes, yeah.
I
it's
imagine
that Jewish
the-
grind.
Yeah.
It's that Jewish grind.
It never
you know?
stops, man.
Yeah, that hustle. They could come at me at any moment.
I imagine the movie premiere is Sonic 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Dude,
too.
that's going to be – I remember we had Ben in here when Sonic 1 dropped, and I had seen it, and I was like, just so you know, like, as the decider of things, I saw the screen of this, and I decided, like, this is a franchise. Like, this is going to be big.
I heard that you told Will Smith before he went to the Oscars, don't take any shit tonight.
It's true. He
I
is.
did.
He sits atop of Hollywood and makes all. He's the
Yeah.
puppet master.
Yeah.
Actually, decides everything.
Nick Illuminati.
How? I mean, Sonic. To me, like, if I could pick a dream gig to do like a major video game type movie from like our generation's childhood, and get involved in like a franchise like that, it's like, I mean, that's a dream come true to me. That'd be perfect.
It's a dream. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice to have it's nice to work. You know, like I like to work. And,
yeah, clearly.
To be able to do it in a franchise of a video game that I played as a kid. Yeah. It's so fun. And then to do it with Ben, who, we grew up together. We were comedy partners from the time we were 20 at the UCB in New York. So like to get to do it now, 20 years later with him on this level is exciting. And then also for it to be my face that's seen and not his is also a real
Yeah, you beat out Ben and Idris Elba. Idris Elba doesn't get any face time, but Adam Pally gets it all. Love that.
Well, you gotta, the ladies want it. You gotta give it to
Well,
them.
he wore the blazer to the fucking, audition. They were like, we gotta have this guy on the screen.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, I wear this blazer everywhere.
Wait, how does that work? They're just doing like voiceover work, or are they involved in any of the actual like physical acting?
No. They voice it, and it's so technical and computery, and there's so many things going on during shooting that they then come in. But the fun thing is that, especially Ben, like he told me when I went up to do the first one, he was like, please text me anything that you improvise that is funny, because then when I get into the booth, I can improvise back with you. And so I think in both movies, a lot of, like especially in this one, we got to really like, it felt like being in a room with Ben, which is cool.
So wait, you text me what you improvise.
That's gotta be hard as hell.
Yeah.
To like remember.
It's not.
No?
It's not. No. I mean, Ben and I talk, all day about the dumbest shit.
Right.
So it's like, it's not hard to be like, hey, I think I really killed this joke about a bagel. Like, when you get in there, look for it.
God. All right. Okay.
That
okay.
makes more sense.
I see what you mean.
What else do you guys talk about all day? Do you want to read the script? Here, you text it to us, and then we'll do like a script reading of it.
Or like just send us your text messages between Ben. Just read us all
That's
your
what I'm
private
saying.
conversations.
The last text message I got from Ben was at 11:27 this morning.
Okay.
And it said, the definition of hot sauce, which was the name of our sketch group. And it's a link to an Instagram for that meme of never let them know your next move. And it's like a guy being insane. And so as you can see, it's like, it's not hard to be like, Ben, I think you should improvise around my bagel joke.
Yeah,
you know,
right. I mean, when he got into the improv game, well, not got into, I guess I should say, when I discovered him doing improv, it kind of opened up my eyes to that whole world of improv. And I feel like even if you're not putting on a improv show, just like that skill to be able to like punch up a script or whatever it may be, like go on the fly on a scene, I feel like that's got to be, you know, either you can do that or you can't, you know what I mean? I feel like it's like if you're good at that, I feel like that's an amazing thing that can add so much to a show or a movie. Like anytime as a fan, I hear about like, did you know that whole scene was improvised, or they don't even write the script or whatever. To me, that's like the coolest shit about a movie or a show.
I think, yeah, I think as someone who has been doing it since I was a kid, I think that what I learned, which is interesting, is like the skill of improvising on stage and like making a show up from nothing is very different than the skill of like improvising and working like in film and television. Yeah. And so when you get to film and television, I think especially for me, I was like shot out of a cannon, and I started just like, I would like throw the script in the garbage as like an act of defiance. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I think what I realized is that improvising is not just about like reading words. It's about like putting yourself into something in the moment. So I had to learn how to like get myself down to just acting, you know, in a lot of ways. And I think that then having the improv background has been a real plus, because like when you're working on Sonic the Hedgehog and you're like talking to a tennis ball and you're not getting a response, it's you can like kind of pull on a bunch of different tools. You
said you got into improv as a kid. Do you mean you were doing acting classes, or like you were as a child, you're like, I want to do improv?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you deem a child. I mean, I think.
Well, let's get legal here, Adam. I don't know. There's a couple different.
Well, to me, it's a sliding scale.
Are we in Alabama? Are we in New York? It depends.
No, the first show I saw like Andy Daly perform when I was like 16 at a small theater, and it like blew my mind. And then I went back. Then I went to the University of Arizona, and like, you know, or I enrolled there, but I didn't go there.
Yeah, no, we just went over my whole list the other day. I had 5 colleges like that. So
6.
Yeah, 6. I spent 2 years enrolled and not going there, which my parents were like nuts. Like
John went to a commuter school that he got kicked out of. He would leave the house, drive to the school, and then just still not go to the classes.
And then my parents sent me to Florida State.
Yeah, after that,
guess where I didn't
even get into Florida State.
I applied to
University of Arizona.
I applied to the business school at FSU, and they were
smart.
They were like,
if you're gonna do it right.
they're like, dude. You know what you got on the SATs, right? Like, you don't know. You don't even know. I don't think you could count to 100 if we paid you $100 to do it. So they were like, how about you come and you can be in the creative writing program, because
that's fake.
Because that's fake, just like everything else about you. And I went, and then I just
everything else about college.
Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so and then I came back to New York at like 19, and I started at the Upright Citizens Brigade.
I knew it. I mean, I feel like everybody that age goes through UCB at some point, right? If you're lucky, right? That's like
this was 20 years ago. So this was 20 years ago. So it was really small, and the shows were at a theater on 22nd Street, and then moved to the theater on 26th Street underneath like Aristides. And you were seeing top tier talent like every day. I mean, like Paul Scheer, Jason Mantzoukas. I mean, those guys were my teachers. They taught me.
Sick.
Amy Poehler, Matt Walsh.
You guys just hanging out above a Aristides.
That's all below a Aristides.
Underneath,
right?
Aristides. There's a Aristides in my town where I grew up in Westchester in Pelham that I'm convinced was just a drug front. because it was a whole.
What?
Because it was a whole ass grocery store that like never had anything stocked and was always like things were expired. No, this was like
at the time the supply chain was rich.
Supply chain.
I swear, man, the supply chain is one of those terms. I'm like, I swear, if I hear it one more time, I'm gonna fucking
I'll
kill
use
you.
it for the rest of my life, and I'll never learn the definition. That's a promise.
I believe you.
If you can't,
I believe you.
if you can't deliver on anything in your life now, just supply chain.
Supply chain is the fucking best.
Yeah, no, it's supply and demand.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the UCB. It was just a different, like, it was just I was so lucky to like find it at 19 and grow with it, you know.
So you got this Sonic job by nepotism through Ben, huh?
No, I think other way around, probably.
Probably.
No. I think the crazy thing about all the people that were there at the time, and like I'm sure someone sometime will write a book. I'm sure there's been articles written about just like the immense wealth of talent. But like everywhere you turned, there was a person who is now so successful that they have formed the culture. You know, like I used to coach improv teams like to make scratch on the side, and while I was like, you know, auditioning, and I remember these two girls were like the funniest. They were so young, but they were so funny and Jewish, and like I got along with them right away. And they were like, "Can you come coach my improv team?" I was like, "Sure." And they paid me like $60 to coach their improv team, like for 6 weeks every Monday or whatever. And it was like you would be like, yeah, that's what happens in New York. And those girls are now Ilana and Abbi.
Wow.
You know, and it's like that was not uncommon.
That's crazy.
Was and I think that they would say like, yeah, I wasn't even their first choice. I don't think. I'm sure I was their last choice. I'm sure they were going after, you know, the top tier. And at the time I was like, you know, but that's how it was. And like when I think of like the people that coached me, you know, it's pretty insane. Like the person that directed my first sketch was Matt Walsh, which is like, he's an Emmy nominee.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
Also,
you know what I mean?
I think
like,
the only person ever cut an interview short with us.
Oh, he hated us.
Oh, I buy that. You guys don't seem like his cup of tea.
Hated us like poison.
It was
dude.
like, it was such a normal interview. It really was. It was like just like it was a benign nonsense.
It wasn't
going
to win any awards, but it wasn't like.
But we weren't being like off the wall. It was a very normal interview. And just
I believe that podcast wasn't going to win any awards.
In the middle of it, he just goes like this.
Yeah.
And his publicist goes, "We gotta get up. Wait, this is over."
It was so bad, man. I was so gassed up. I love like everything he's done. It was in the middle of like Veep's, you know, like best run, best season, and then
I'm sure we remember it differently because we have such bad self-confidence.
Pretty sure. Yeah, well that's true.
Like,
but he hated us.
I think.
Well, now imagine like showing him a sketch that you've written.
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah, that's what we basically did. We're like, hey, look at like our thing, and he was like, you guys suck.
Yeah. Well,
how were you even getting found? Like when you said you were doing improv coaching, was that like Craigslist back then, or were you kind of like
it was like the scene the same way. It was a lot like punk rock or something. Like this person's playing with this band, and then someone says, "Hey, can you come jam with my band?" Then you know, and like at that time they were on a Herald team, it's like a house team, and in order to be on a house team, you needed to like to rehearse, you know. So it was just like it was organic like that.
Is there a lot of like improv beef?
I don't know.
I could see that getting like petty and territorial and like.
Yeah, I'm sure there was, and I'm sure I was part of it. But I feel like I was like my main thing was that I didn't like taking notes. Shocking.
I know that game.
Yep.
But, yeah. But other than that, no. I mean, like it really is, and even people that like maybe I didn't get along with back then, they've now made it so big that there's a certain like camaraderie to just having gone through those trenches.
Yeah.
You know?
That it's so weird how we look back on those, like with like those rose-colored lenses and times like that. Like we were talking about like earlier days at work here, and we're like, that was when times were great. Like no, they weren't.
No, they sucked, dude.
Yeah, no,
sucked.
They were brutal.
They're just different. They're just different.
Yeah.
You know, you're young and you don't mind like $60 for 3 hours of improv coaching. Like hell yeah, that sounds great. You know, like, but it's because I was listening to Flea on Howard Stern this morning, and I was actually lucky enough when Flea was a monologist at ASCAT like 10 years ago, and I was lucky enough to play that show, and I think he's one of the coolest guys, and he was saying that like sometimes people in the arts they say like, well, I knew I had to do this because I couldn't do anything else. I was like, that's cool, and then he went further and he was like, but for me it's in the moment. It's like I need my show to be so good right now because I can't do anything else. And I think sometimes you like overthink the macro of it. You know, you're like, oh, I need to be a famous actor because I can't do anything else. But back then there was like a real like spark to just being like, I need this scene to be the funniest scene. And I need this sketch to be the funniest sketch. And it didn't accumulate to anything. It was just like to be the best in that moment, in that competitive place. And so I think there's like an earnestness to that, but you're so young that you can afford it. You can afford to not eat and be treated like shit. You know?
Where's this travel show taking you? Have you done a lot of that filming yet?
It's been really fun. Yeah. It's with my buddy, John Gabris, who I also met 20 years ago at UCB, who's a super funny comedian and podcaster. And, we've gone to, it's all over America. It's kind of like it's kind of like doing Anthony Bourdain if you didn't learn any lessons and you just got fucked up the whole time.
Sold.
Pretty good one.
I'm in.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good idea.
Green light for that show.
It's called 101 Places to Get Fucked Up Before You Die.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it starts this summer behind Impractical Jokers.
That's a nice little lead-in.
Nice little lead-in. And we've gone to Denver, Richmond, Moab, Puerto Rico, Miami, and Atlanta.
Wait, what was the second one? Denver, Richmond, Moab?
Moab, yeah.
Yeah,
Where's
Moab,
that?
Utah.
Utah.
It's in Utah. It's like the middle of nowhere. It's like being on Mars.
Like, Kevin actually just recently had kind of discovered it's like a drinking, was it binge drinking by county in America?
It's excessive drinking by county in America, a color scale if you're.
I would love to see that chart.
So it was dark blue is like heavy drinking, and all the way white is less drinking, and Utah entirely, the whole state entirely white, just not a drop of alcohol.
So were you doing booze in Moab, or were you doing like, if it's the middle of nowhere, you doing like shrooms and shit?
Both.
Nice.
Yeah.
Both. Yeah.
It's not like
tight.
It's not like it's like
you heard the title of the show.
Yeah.
You can like get alcohol in Utah, right? It's like a lot of Mormons don't drink, but it's not like it's banned or something. It's not prohibition.
There's like weird laws. There's weird laws like you can't order multiple liquors and stuff, and like, but we found a way around that. And a lot of the interactions we were having or things we were doing in Moab, because that's the way the city is like, you're out, you stop at the liquor store and buy like a 30-pack of Miller High Life and you go fly fishing for 4 hours. And like, that's what you do.
That's life. That's living.
So when you say you can't order multiple liquors, does that mean like at a liquor store or like in a bar? Like if you
like in a bar,
like
if you go to, they don't serve Long Island iced teas, but like if you go to a bar and you're like, give me a shot and a back of beer. It's like they're like one before the other.
Oh, I thought you meant like if you get like a whiskey and you later decide you want.
No, you can do it
but
later.
It's not in one
round.
round.
Multiple orders.
That's why I was saying Long Island iced tea. Could you get something like that where you're mixing all your booze together?
I think you can get it, but you can only order that.
Got it.
Then that becomes
just one round
at
a
the time. So it's like one round at a time.
Oh, that's the most annoying.
That's
It's like little things like that make it so annoying that sometimes you go like, just fuck it, let's just go home.
Let's go do shrooms.
And because it's, I don't know, it's against like some religious rule. But
what's the best place you've gone? Best and worst, I guess Moab because of the pain in the ass. Let's say.
Honestly, Moab was rad. Like everything's
cool when you're getting fucked up.
Yeah, like the fun part about the show is that you're not like there's no pressure to be like this place rules versus this place sucks, or like this place is, you know what I mean? It's like you just go and you get to do the fun thing that they have, and that's it. And it's just, and then you do as many jokes as you possibly humanly can.
And are you like actually bombed? You getting like really mangled, or are you just like, all right, let's have a couple and dabble with this, or is it like, let's go?
I would say you can decide for yourself.
Okay, got it.
You watch
Understood.
it.
Because dude, that's like, I mean, we've done that plenty of times with like nights out and stuff like that. We never had a travel show or anything like that, but like there have been things where like Patriots Super Bowl, I go to the Super Bowl after party, and then like I get fucking hammered, and like I'm like wrestling with Gronkowski's, and then I wake up next morning like I don't want to look through that footage.
That's the job.
You kind of you get through that. I get such
I mean that's the thrill of the job, and kind of what we wanted to do was have you ever seen The Trip? The Steve Coogan, it's a Steve Coogan movie. They made like 4 of them with Rob Brydon, and basically it's them as their real selves going around England and Spain and eating and drinking wine and then writing about it for a magazine.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's very sophisticated and funny, but it's all bits. It's all like, you know, that's where like the Michael Caine bit comes from and all that stuff. So we were like, well, let's do that, but like the way Americans would. And the way Americans would is like to get fucking shithoused. and so we try to keep that level of like the jokes are tight and improvised, and like especially with editing, we're able to like really speed stuff up and make it feel almost scripted. And so the tightrope, like the magic trick, is to make everything feel like it was in real time and just one night, you know?
And I'm fascinated by this. I could ask you a million questions on it. Is it something that like
go for it? I saw eyes go that way.
I was just checking. I was just checking Liverpool's score. Liverpool's up 3-1 in case you were wondering.
Oh, cool. Professional.
Oh yeah, I was ignoring you and watching sports.
I get a quick look.
Oh, cool. Because I thought it was like we're getting the hook.
No.
You're just doing your own interests. So that's cool.
Is it is it like mixing business with pleasure? Like everything becomes work eventually? Are you ever like,
yes.
I don't want to go eat and drink in this place?
100%, and we film that part, and that's the part cool. Where like it gets really fun and funny. Like you never see Guy Fieri, you know, have like firea.
Right.
You definitely see us be like, we cannot do this, and like.
So you're not really at the mercy of like a restaurant or a brand or a drink.
We're at the mercy of
yourself.
We're at the mercy of ourselves and jokes, and like cool. The whole point of the show, especially coming out of these last 2 years, like, you know, me and my buddy John watched a lot of travel shows and cooking shows, and like they became really popular, like craziest houses or like craziest cars. And I think it's all because everyone was stuck in their fucking house, and they're just like, I just want to see what's out there. And so when we got the opportunity, we were like, let's not bum people out. Like everyone knows that most places in the world have been affected by imperialism, and it sucks. And we try to like deal with that as little as we can, so that we are honest about that it happened, and then we just like have as much fun as we can.
Right.
Because like
now that we got that out of the way,
you can't go to Puerto Rico and not talk about the fact that they're not a state.
Right.
You know, it affects everything they do. Now, does that mean that we didn't like get fucking shithoused and play with a band? No, we did that. We definitely did that. So it's like that's the fun.
Did you go to the cockfighting ring? Were you in San Juan?
We couldn't go to the cockfighting ring, but we were able to play craps in an area where we could only film in one direction, because if we turned the cameras that way, the police would be able to identify it.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. It was
shit, that's cool.
Sketch. It was sketch, but it was also like so thrilling. You know?
The cockfighting is not for me, man.
Did you have any desire? I went there with my family probably, let's call it 4 years ago. No, fucking longer than that, 10 years ago. And like my dad was like, "You always want to check it out, like part of the culture." And me and my brother were like, "I don't think so, dude." Like, because it's like a stadium. That the
and it gets bloody
in San Juan, it's like big.
Yeah. No, we didn't do that. We don't. Again, it's not like Jackass in a way. Like it's like we're not trying to do things superhuman. Like the whole point of it is just like the crew is on camera all the time. We say we're travel show hosts. We tell you when we can't eat anymore. We get too drunk in a lot of the restaurants. We don't order the right food. We never sit in the right place. We drop everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's the whole point of it is just to have the most fun and have it feel like everybody's having a really great time.
Did you do something in New York?
No, we didn't do. We left out our home cities because
I was gonna say that, it's not like you're really.
It's like, also we really wanted to do stuff that was like, there was this other thing that happened over the last years, which is people started traveling in America, and like people were like, well, I don't know if I can get overseas, so I've always wanted to see Denver, or I hear Richmond is popping off, or Portland is exciting. I've never been out there. It's like, so we really wanted to do like kind of like under the radar cities, and then we added like a couple, like Miami, because I can't not go to Miami.
Scooted in there, yeah.
It's in my blood.
You should do New York and do like, we're drinking 40s on the street and like in the tunnel. You know what I mean? Like, do it like that.
I hope so. I mean, the show's called 101 Places,
yeah.
And we titled it that, knowing that after they put it on the air, there's a pressure. You got to do 101.
Smart business, Should have named it 1001. You're working for the rest of your life.
Well, we want to live.
Yeah. Speaking of wanting to live, in any scenario, could you see yourself ordering a foot-long Subway sandwich with the tuna fish?
Extra mayo.
With extra mayo.
At this age?
Yes.
No.
Let's say yesterday, hypothetically. No. Because why? Because you have like you're a grown man who wants to survive and you have standards?
Yeah. Well, yes. First off, I'm like, I'm trying not to eat fast food like that, and I do consider Subway to be kind of
it's a gray area, but yeah, I think it leans that direction.
It's a gray area.
I see what you're doing.
Like,
you're going more the Outback route.
Yeah, I love Outback Steakhouse.
Okay, well,
mostly just the
Bloomin' Onion.
I like Lone Star. I like Lone Star Steakhouse.
Would you follow up the Subway tuna sandwich with delivery DoorDashed Outback, the steak and the surf and turf with a delivered lobster tail stuck in a carton for an hour while someone brings? Would you eat that for dinner?
First of all, no.
Okay.
No, I would not eat that for dinner. I might eat the Bloomin' Onion.
Would you then rip 2 cigarettes and then wake up the next day and eat wings? Is that where we're at right now?
That's where we're at.
That's your diet for the last week?
I've had a lot more than 2
2 days.
cigarettes. You saw me have 2 cigarettes.
Yeah.
I've had a lot more.
I will tell you this. I recently I did walk into a bar in Richmond, Virginia, and eat a burger called an A-Cab, which had 4 patties and 4 slices of cheese plus bacon and an egg.
Woo!
I ate 1.5 of them.
Whoa! Big boy.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
What did they do when you said, let me get another?
I turned to my buddy. I was like, you want to split this? And he was like, no. And then I was like, all right, I'll just eat half. And then he ate the other half too. I was like,
wow.
Was the waitress or the waiter like, are you sure? Like,
yes, they were. Shout out Cobra Burger in Richmond. And yes, they were concerned. They were concerned. I was concerned. And after I was like, can I get some like to go? And they were like, we don't have any more.
Really?
You ate it all.
That
like,
was a lie for your, like, we're not, that's like in like
Protecting
Bad Boys
themselves.
2 when like the girl's gonna die in the club and they like drag her out to the alley. Like, we're not having Adam Pally die in here. We gotta tell him to
like
come
normally it was like Disney shit, and like normally I would agree with you, but when they broke it down for us and they're like, we're a stand, we only have certain things.
Okay.
And you and your buddy just ate 12.
You guys just
patties.
cleaned us out. Like I hope you enjoyed it, but we're shut down for the day because you fat asses.
Yeah,
that's spectacular.
Copy that.
So you travel in the world, eating and drinking, doing whatever you want, all the while doing, a franchise like Sonic is.
Things are going pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Things are okay. Yeah, life is good. I'm looking forward to getting back to New York next week, and spending some time with my kids for a while. And yeah, life is good.
How old are your kids now?
10, 9, and 4.
Yeah.
Drake is 4.
Drake is such an awesome name.
That's a sick name.
That is so cool.
Gotta love the Drake.
Good kid. Yeah, he goes into class now and he tells everybody, because like they've been working on nicknames. And so
I'm Champagne Poppy.
He's like, Daddy, what's my nickname? I told him. So then the next day we got like a text from his teacher that was like, I think it's adorable that he tells people his nickname is Drizzy. I was like, yeah,
See, I feel like naming your kid is a. We were talking about this recently. Oh, when Kylie Jenner just rescinded her kid's name, she named him Wolf.
Yeah, I didn't.
And then like 2 weeks later, she was just like, well, I kind of like it in the sense of like, I think the name is cool. I would have left it. But if you're not feeling it and something's wrong, I think you should be able to be like, you know what, Mulligan, I'm not gonna just stick with something forever because
it must have been, as someone who's named 3 children, one of them Drake and the other one one of them Gigi, not short for anything,
just Gigi.
2 Gs.
Wait, just 2 Gs, just GG. Wow,
that's sick. I like that.
And tell me the third one is like Tom or something.
Cole Archer.
Okay, so they're all like cool and unique.
Jazz player.
Yeah.
Well, we're cool. I mean, but they're not like Wolf or out there. But I think like I have a friend named Wolfie, and I feel like something else must have been going on.
Well,
I think
her story said after seeing it everywhere, we took, which I don't like, because it's like if that means you're forcing it to be unique, you know.
Yeah, I think she's losing it a little probably. And that's natural after you have a baby. There's your hormones are like insane and you do crazy ass shit. And so like I can see see her being like focused on that when maybe that wasn't the thing that was upsetting her.
Right.
But I think also, do whatever you want. Who cares? Rename your baby. They don't care.
Yeah.
It is going to be difficult when like they have to explain this, when like they Google their name and it says like formerly named Wolf.
When you got an FKA.
Like, Mommy, what happened? She's like, I freaked out. Like,
you're 2 days old and you got an FKA. You gotta change the birth certificate to it all. I just feel like naming your kid though is like a part of me feels like you give your kid a cool name like Drake, and it's like you're set him on a course destined to be a success and be cool, but it's also like a lot of pressure. I feel like in a way too. It's like, well, now do I have some name to live up to, or I wonder if it matters. Does it help? Does it hurt?
I don't know. I mean, what my wife and I did is like, because I think that is a big thing with parenting is like to overthink and analyze everything you do and assume that it is part of an equation that is somehow your responsibility. And I think oftentimes as parents we get too like caught up in that. It's like you guys are adults. Do you remember ever like how long were you like fuck my name? Like a day?
Yeah.
It's
right.
So I think it is a lot more of like parental like thing. So what my wife and I did for all of our kids was like we picked the name that we liked and then we tried to make fun of them and roast the name as hard as we could. And the least roastable name was the one we went with.
Do you remember at all any of like a name that you just absolutely massacred?
I hope they weren't John and Kevin.
Like, we named him Kevin for a day, but that guy
John and Kevin was nowhere near our list.
No, I was gonna say that. I mean, we were probably like the bottom if they ended up with Drake, Gigi, and Cole Archer.
No. We let me think. What did we almost end on? Oh, well, we were thinking about naming our first one Cash. We need to use a C.
Cash, good.
And we were like, Cash, a Jew, that's tough.
Why did you need to use a C?
Well, we're Jews, so when people pass away, so my mother passed away like 10 days before my son was born. So we were in a scramble to find a C.
We've got a Cash here.
Is that a Jewish thing that you have to name after the most recent
It's not. It doesn't have to be after most recent. It's just like it's customary sometimes to name your kids with the letters of people that have passed away to like keep your family going. It's a thing that I like to do.
Yeah, that's cool.
In our family, but we pull it from everywhere. Like Gigi was named after my wife's favorite aunt Gertrude, who like used to smoke cigarettes and give her coffee.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! Like hell yeah!
Trudy, what up, girl?
Gertie it is.
We have a girl who has a Cash here. She named her baby Cash. And I was hoping you were going to roast it and be like, anybody who names that kid Cash. But she's not Jewish.
I was all in on the name Cash, but I was like, it's just like, it's like naming him Bagel or something.
This is our kid Locks. Here you go.
Yeah.
All right,
my son Hollywood.
They're telling us to wrap it up. So Sonic 2 is the movie. We've got the Travel Channel show, 101 Ways to Get Fucked Up.
Places to get fucked up.
Places to get fucked up.
Or you die.
And,
Places to get fucked up,
man, you're doing it. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life.
You guys are. I look forward to talking to you soon.
Have a good one, bro.
Adam, thank you.
Later, dude.
If you're watching on YouTube, click here to subscribe so that you get all the new episodes as they come out. And John, what should they click if they want notifications? Make sure you click thumbs up for the like. Hit that bell icon.